Hamsa Shiva Soham.
Hamsa Shiva Soham.
Soham Hamsa Shiva.
Soham Hamsa Shiva.
Sa Shiva Soham Hamsaha.
Sa Shiva Soham Hamsaha.
Hamsa Shiva Soham.
Hamsa Shiva Soham.
Soham Hamsa Shiva.
Soham Hamsa Shiva.
Sa Shiva Soham Hamsaha.
Sa Shiva Soham Hamsaha.
Hamsa Shiva Soham.
Hamsa Shiva Soham.
Soham Hamsa Shiva.
Soham Hamsa Shiva.
Sa Shiva Soham Hamsaha.
Sa Shiva Soham Hamsaha.
We had seen up till, where are we? 11.
According to me, 11.
Atmanam maranim kritva pranavacchottararanим jnananirmadhanabhyasat pasham dahati panditaha. How the arani, the lower bowl was the jiva, the upper bowl was the Brahman, the absolute reality, and the enquiry, how the lower bowl, if you want to use it very crudely, the lower bowl is made up of wood, the upper bowl is also made up of wood. So material is the same, only the shape is different. Similarly, the jiva, how jiva is nothing but the Paramatma and the absolute reality is the absolute reality. How both are one, this you have to inquire. This is the churning. And I think we all went through that. Those who went to Dolmara Pass, those who went to Charan Sparsh, we all had our opportunity to go through that churning and find out that hidden potential, that hidden energy, and be open to the grace, so that we recognize that there is some higher power which is making it all happen. Jnana nirmadhana abhyasat pasham dahati panditaha. And once that grace starts flowing through, and what is that grace like? That grace is like sugandhim pushtivardhanam. So it is nourishing fragrance. There is joy, there is bliss. That just being in a person's, such a person's presence itself is nourishing. Like when Aarti and Shilpa came back, and they were not stinking at all. And I was all showered, and I saw them and I gave them a hug. And Sugandhi, that's what I told her, Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. They were fragrant. पता नहीं मुंह धो के आए थे क्या करके आए थे, लेकिन के स्प्रे आ रहा था, बट सुगंधिम था.
सीक्रेट है स्वामी.
सीक्रेट है. So now coming to the next one, repeat after me. Sa eva maya parimohitatma shariramaasthaya karoti sarvam striyannapanadi vichitra bhogaihi स एव जाग्रत परितृप्तिमेति. Together. स एव माया परिमोहितात्मा शरीरमास्थाय करोति सर्वं स्त्रियन्नपानादिविचित्रभोगैः स एव जाग्रत परितृप्तिमेति. The absolute self alone, expressing through the limitations of relativity, created due to the names and forms. Today, when I was sitting in the bus with Sri Hari, the same topic was coming. We were discussing that all the names and forms are the phenomena. The names and forms which are, and whatever phenomena it may be, the phenomena of ornaments, the phenomena of rainbow, the phenomena of the blueness of the sky, the phenomena of pots cannot express without the substratum, the base, the foundation. What is the foundation of all the pots? Mud. What is the substratum of all the ornaments? Gold. What is the foundation of all the waves? Water. So all the names and forms in this creation that we see, what is its substratum? That is that absolute reality. And that you are. Don't forget that. And now he's taking you through that. And thus, as if getting deluded. So last class, I explained that Paramashiva alone, as if, very important, as if manifests as Shiva Shakti. Then that Shakti multiplies, because by her nature she multiplies into Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Then Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Then the Virat Purush. Then the body is created, and in that body the life starts expressing. Because it's happening. It's not, you're not making it happen. Your parents didn't bring the life into the fetus. It came. When it came, you have to, they say, 4th or 5th month. So he entered. If it is still there, this is Jiva, Ishvara Srishti. But once it has entered, after that, you say, I am only this body, I am not the other bodies. This is Jiva Srishti. And what is spirituality? To drop the Jiva Srishti and come to the universal Srishti, Ishvara Srishti. So this delusion that we are living in, that I am only this name and form. There is nothing wrong in being the name and form. But only this name and form is the problem. Either identify with all the names and form, or don't identify with any name and form. But we are hanging in between. Trishanku. Only this. And that has created all the issues of our life. And starts living thereafter as a body, and all activities are the reflections of I am the body notion. See, very simple. This is a bottle. Correct? Agree, all of you? I know and you know this is a bottle. Correct? Logic we are taking. I am not the bottle. Correct? This is a table. I know this is a table. I am not the table. Can we talk in this manner about every object in this world?
Yes.
Correct? This is a body. I know this is a body. What should be the third sentence?
I am not the body.
And how are you living? Go further. This is the breath. I know this is the breath. What should be the third one? I am not the breath. So no fear of whether you are breathing or not breathing. Go next. Let the body cough. Let the nose bleed or have the cold. Then go further. This is the mind, because you know the thoughts are coming and going. I know there are thoughts in the mind. What should be the third sentence? I am not the mind, or I am not the thoughts. Isn't it? तो इसके ऊपर फिर अप्लाई, उसके बारे में आत्मानम अरणिम कृत्वा, फिर उसके ऊपर इंक्वायरी, उसके बारे में सोचते रहो. हम क्या करते हैं, एक बार सुन लिया, बाद में फिर दुनिया के बारे में सोचते रहते हैं, शॉपिंग करने चले जाते हैं. फिर उसके बाद कहते हैं नहीं अभी बहुत ज़्यादा शॉपिंग हो गई, आई नीड अ बूस्टर, so come back to satsang, get a booster. और बूस्टर में आके एनर्जी होते हैं, फिर वो सारी एनर्जी लेके फिर शॉपिंग के लिए निकल जाते हैं.
वापस देने के लिए. वापस देने के लिए.
So here he says that so you understand. सिर्फ अंडरस्टैंड करना और कुछ नहीं करना है. You don't have to apply it. You don't have to do any pranayam. You don't have to do any fasting. You don't have to do hundreds of japas, lakhs of japas. All you have to do is understand. Did you do any sadhana to become a wife?
No.
एक झटके में वरमाला पड़ी, उसके बाद बिहेवियर ही चेंज हो गया.
नहीं शर्माती ना, ये उपवास करो वो उपवास करो फॉर बेटर.
बाकियों में तो नहीं कर रहा था. तो फिर अपनी बात करो. तो क्या साधना की थी कि यू स्टार्टेड बिहेविंग एज अ वाइफ और हस्बैंड. Exactly the same way. How much sadhana you do to, if I say, think of your child, immediately the mother comes out of in your mind. Acha, now think of your husband, immediately the wife comes out. Think of your parents, immediately the daughter or son comes out. What sadhana are you doing to shift from one role to the other? Nothing. That much sadhana you have to do to recognize you are the pure consciousness, that you are the infinite one. इतना सिंपल है, इतना सिंपल है. उसको कॉम्प्लिकेट मत करो, बस समझ लो और उसके बाद अपना जीवन जीते रहो. और बाद में बार बार याद दिलाते रहो अपने आप को. वही पुट इट ऑन द मिरर और पुट इट ऑन सम प्लेसेस वेयर यू अगेन एंड जैसे ही लिपस्टिक करोगे सामने लिखा होगा आई एम नॉट द बॉडी. अरे लिपस्टिक हाँ, मेरे वही तो मैंने बोला, मेरा जहाँ पे लिपस्टिक लग रही है उसी हाइट पे लिख दो आई एम नॉट द बॉडी. So it is that simple, but we in our enthusiasm of spirituality make it complicated for ourselves.
No, but sir, Swamiji, we get into the role of the wife. We know what. How do you say that we get into that role of
You ask,
consciousness?
you tell me, what did you? That's what I said just now. No, what practice did you do to become a wife?
Nothing.
Nothing.
But we can see other people being wives.
So you decided, now you accepted.
Yeah.
Correct. Very good point. So you accepted that you are a wife. So you accept that you are the infinite consciousness. You accept that you are not the body, breath, mind, intellect. You accept that this jiva and the infinite are one. Accept. The way you have accepted, then all your actions are based on that acceptance, isn't it? So once you accept who is a sannyasi or a sadhu, he has accepted his union with the divine. So all his actions are emanating from that conviction, from that abidance, isn't it? So once you accepted that you are going to, that you are committed to go to Kailash, all actions that ensued after that were determined by your acceptance that you are going to Kailash. Isn't it? That's how in everything in life you do. First you accept. You will accept only if you are convinced. And then you don't think about it. Activity automatically ensues from that. Once you have taken a particular position, automatically आपके action शुरू हो जाते हैं. तो ठीक है.
So, Swami, just one. So, what, in a nutshell, what we are saying is a constant remembrance.
Do you need to remember constantly that you are a wife? Do you need to
So,
wait a minute. Do you need to constantly remember that you are a body?
No,
Do you need to constantly remember that you have to breathe?
no, it happens automatically.
Exactly. The day you accept that your consciousness, really accept it. Then,
That's, I think,
then but you are conscious right now. Otherwise, who's talking? Without consciousness, you cannot talk. Without consciousness, life cannot express. Without consciousness, indriyas cannot function. No communication can happen. So accept. Thereafter, everything is. Just live in that abidance after that. So he says, thus, he goes through a series of, series of experiences of indulgence with the objective world and gets a relative fulfillment. So we are talking about the waking state where the jiva, having identified with this body, goes through accepts himself as this body and starts interacting with the objects of the world. First he accepted this object called the body as I, and after that he starts having a relationship with various objects and goes through ups and downs of life, acceptance and rejection and success and failure, etc., etc. And that is called as the waking experience. Sa eva jagrat paritrupti meti. And he feels satisfied with that type of roller coaster life. Now, second one, this is swapna. So, what happens here? In the waking state, you are identified with objects outside. In dream state, here he says, swapne sa jiva sukha dukkha bhokta. Sa jiva sukha dukkha bhokta. Swamaya ya kalpita jiva loke. सुषुप्ति काले सकले विलीने तमो विभूत सुख रूपमेति. Together, स्वप्ने स जीव सुख दुःख भोक्ता स्वमायया कल्पित जीव लोके सुषुप्ति काले सकले विलीने तमो विभूत सुख रूपमेति. So, in short, I don't have to go repeat the same thing. In dream, what is happening? The same jiva, he's got a different body, he has accepted that body as my I, and he has accepted all the modifications of the mind as the objects to interact with, and that is called as the dream state. And then he says, what is that? The last part. Sushupti kale sakale viline. Sushupti, what is Sushupti kal? Where there is absence of objects of the possibility of identification with objects in the waking state is not available, and the objects in the mind also not available, means no other thoughts are available. Where there is absence of both, the I goes into Sushupti. That is absence of both. The waking and the dream is called as the Sushupti. Sushupti is the deep sleep state. And in this state, the mind, in the waking, the mind unfolds itself. In the deep sleep, the mind enfolds itself. As if you are rolling out the carpet and then you roll back the carpet. This is how the mind is. So first, when it rolls out, dream. Then it rolls out, waking, or whichever way. But when you roll back again, go back to the origin, go back to the Sushupti. That is the cause. Then as a result, the self, as it reverts back to its blissful state. Sushupti kal, Sushupti means deep sleep state, is not a state of, for you and me, well, I should say me, for majority, so deep sleep state is a state of ignorant bliss. Correct? That's what we have heard. Actually speaking, what has happened is the consciousness has gone back to consciousness. It has merged back into the total consciousness in deep sleep. Only thing is, we are not aware of its, because of whatever, the Maya you can call it, because we are not awake to that merging. We are only focused on, because we went to sleep with what? Or यार tomorrow उठ के मेरे को breakfast बनाना है, बच्चों को स्कूल भेजना है, गया काम से. But if you can remain awake before going to sleep, in one of the classes I said, 2 windows of opportunity. Before you go to sleep, where naturally Urvarukomevo Bandhanat is taking place, you can remain awake. Keep practicing daily. Every night try to catch it. One day it will click. ज़्यादा दिन नहीं लगेंगे. पर जिस दिन लग गया, उस दिन पूरी रात जागे रहोगे. फिर बाद में, after that you don't say, oh yaar, I didn't sleep the whole night, I don't know, I will be very tired. Because this is how we sabotage ourselves all the time. That it is so difficult, it is undoable. No, if you have been awake, if nowadays so many people are having sleepless nights, all of you are having sleepless nights. But is the mind calm? Or is it very active? It's calm. Most of the time it is calm. So you are with yourself. But what is the communication that we get after getting up? Oh, I didn't get to sleep. I got up 5 times in the night. That's why I'm tired. Straight away sabotage of our own inherent bliss.
We don't get satsang every evening.
I'm reminding.
Which calms us down. So that's why.
नहीं but ये जरा सोचिए, think in this manner, that when the mind is calm and if you are awake, you are with yourself. And if you have missed the opportunity while going to sleep, when you wake up, again it's the same opportunity. The mind has not projected the world yet. You are with yourself. And eyes are closed, you are aware, you are not even aware of the body. For few seconds, you are lying there, you are totally awake, there are no thoughts in the mind. Be there for 1 second, 2 seconds, half a second. But if you are consistently pursuing it to be there, the period will keep elongating. 3 seconds चाहिए, maximum 3 seconds. If 3 seconds you can stay in that, you are merged, according to yoga. Some yogis speak that way. 3 seconds, all that is required. Oh, so when I sit for 1 hour in meditation, what do I do?
Planning.
So, true merging has not taken place. Okay, let's continue. Punascha janmantar karma yoga. Okay. Punascha janmantar karma yoga sa eva jiva swapiti prabuddha. Puratraye kridati yascha jiva. Tatastu jatam sakalam vichitram. Adharamanandam akhanda bodham. Yasmin layam yati puratrayam cha. Together. Punascha janmantara karma yoga sa eva jiva swapiti prabuddha. Puratraye kridati yascha jivaha. Tatastu jatam sakalam vichitram. Adharamanandam akhanda bodham. Yasmin layam yati puratrayam cha. The phenomena called as jiva. So jiva is a phenomena. What is this phenomena called jiva? You and me. Yeah? So, is this phenomena permanent?
No. Yes.
Is jiva permanent? No.
No.
Are you going to be permanently available?
No, the Atma is there.
हाँ, मैं जीव की बात कर रहा हूँ. Terminology you listen. I didn't say Atma, I said Jeev. So Jiva is not permanent. So what is Jiva? Jiva is reflected consciousness. And where does this consciousness reflect? In the mind. Mind also expresses as mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Yeah, so, or we'll just take it as out of the pancha koshas in the buddhi Vijnanmaya kosh. There the reflection of consciousness is possible. The body is too gross for the reflection of consciousness to be available. It's like a stone. If it is rough, you can't have a sun reflecting over it. But if you start polishing it, the breath, it is too chanchal. Again, reflection is not possible. The mind is even more erratic, fickle. There also it is not able to reflect. But in intellect, it is quite subtle compared to gross body, the vital air sheath, and the mental sheath. Compared to all these three, the intellectual sheath is quite refined. And therefore, in that subtle intellect or that intellect, the reflection of the consciousness is possible. See, for example, if you have a mirror, if a mirror has too much dust on it, can you have a reflection of the sun on it or your face? You can't see the reflection. But if you clean it up, you can see the reflection. exactly the same way. Intellect is that subtle aspect of our personality where the reflection of consciousness is possible. And this is the Ishvara Srishti. Then that reflected consciousness says, I am this body. Then it is called as the Jiva. And whole life is spent to undo that. So the phenomena called Jiva again gets identified with different bodies, thereby giving rise to the illusion of many births. And what are these different bodies? In waking plane you have got one body, in dream plane you have got one body, in deep sleep you have got no body, again next day you have got another, when you wake up you have waking body, and then you say, Arey yaar, I was just now so healthy and suddenly I turned 50, how come pain here, pain there, pain everywhere? Suddenly something changes. So body is changing. So this is rebirth. Whatever you have fed in, it's coming out now. So waking, dream, deep sleep. Every day, waking, dream, deep sleep. Waking, dream, deep sleep. Body is changing. Mind is changing. Breath is changing. Notions are changing. Ideas are changing. And I still feel I am all this. This is the stupid jiva. This long sleep of continuous identification with the changing bodies of waking, dream and deep sleep is called transmigration. And we have to shoot out of this. Just like to make a rocket shoot out of the earth's gravity, you need a certain power. What is that power? Scientists, if anyone is here, it's 11 kilometers per second speed has to be generated. That speed has to be generated to get out of the gravitational force of the earth. To get out of this transmigration, you need a force. And that force cannot come from something within the world. Scriptures also cannot do it if you don't make it subjective. So it is only by contemplation on Atmanam Aranim Kritva. Keep inquiring in this manner, and somewhere it will happen and you will vanish. You will vanish means Jiva will vanish. I will vanish. Who will take care of my children? What will happen? ऐसे सब नहीं. This long deep sleep is called as transmigration. In this, he sleeps and wakes up again and again and plays the game of life through identification with the three planes of experiences, namely waking, dream and their absence. I'll add one more to it, which is samadhi. Waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi all come and go. So another fourth one. Out of this phenomena of identification, this whole world is created. It is in this absolute, blissful, unbroken, conscious existence, this game of identification and disidentification ultimately dissolves. So, whether you like it or not, right now you are saying that I will die one day. Brahmaji also came into existence. He will also go back to sleep one day. Where will he go back? We just said going back to sleep is merging back into the divine. Brahmaji is conscious of it. You are unconscious of it. Where do you go back? You go back to the infinite one. Out of that only everything has come about. Into that only everything will go back in. If you saw the video when I went to Charan Sparsh, I just chanted Trembakam and Hamsa Shiva Soham. But उस समय कहता है स्वामी जी कुछ बोलो कौन कर्मा. And that time suddenly the thought came. Is the journey of the one, by the one, in the one, to the one, forever and ever and ever and ever. There is nothing separate. Because phenomena cannot be real. Real is you, who is the observer of the phenomena. Catch that. Continuing, ज़्यादा complicate नहीं करेंगे. एतस्मात् जायते प्राणो मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च खं वायुर्ज्योतिरापः पृथ्वी विश्वस्य धारिणी टुगेदर एतस्मात् जायते प्राणो मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च खं वायुर्ज्योतिरापः पृथ्वी विश्वस्य धारिणी. This is a beautiful thought of how that one consciousness alone is playing with itself. So what I just concluded is the play of one with one. So what does he say? It is in this absolute reality, the conscious existence, that expresses as life. Where does it expresses as life? Through this Panchakoshas, isn't it? In this only, that life alone expresses as the mind. Mind alone, then you may call it different names, Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar, that is a different matter. So consciousness expresses as life. That life expresses as the mind. Without the mind, you don't know there is life, isn't it? That mind alone becomes the five senses. Those five senses, through those five senses, as the life is or the mind is expressing, the five elements come and mix with each other to make the various forms. And they become the food for the senses, they become the thought for the mind, and the jiva continues. So it's the expression of the one as the many. And where have all the many come from? From that one alone. So that one pure consciousness alone is the life. That one life alone is the mind. That one mind alone is the five senses. And that those five senses alone are the five elements which are expressing as the various names and forms in the world. Now what is your journey? Go back from the recognize that all the objects of the world are nothing. Come to the general principle. Not, oh, my wife, how can five elements? अपने husband में five elements देखूंगी. नहीं, general principle. The whole world of names and forms is made up of space, air, fire, water, earth. यहाँ पे लिखा है ना, खम वायु ज्योति रापः. The five elements is told. It's made out of those elements. If those elements are there, these are five senses are also made out of the. Each one is for space is for ears, vayu is for skin. What is fire for? Eyes. What is the water for? Tongue. And earth for nose. So the stimuli are there. So they are come back to their source. If these five senses are not there, there is no value of the five elements outside expressing as everything. So what is these five elements? Can they function? See, five are there, but mind is one. So can the five senses function without the mind? Not possible. Can the mind function if life is not there? Go back to the source. We are tracing the path back. Come back to the life. Then find out what life is. Who am I? You'll come back to the origin, that you are the origin, the pure consciousness. So, in this way, contemplate. Yat param brahma sarvatma vishwasyayatanam mahata sukshmat sukshmataram nityam tattvameva tvameva tata. Together, yat param brahma sarvatma vishwasyayatanam mahata sukshmat sukshmataram nityam tattvameva tvameva tata. Here everything is getting consolidated now. I have already done it, but here the verses are doing it. What is that? The Upanishad is doing it. This absolute reality therefore contains the total manifest and the unmanifest world. What is the manifest world? Waking and dream. What is the unmanifest world? Deep sleep. Isn't it? It contains everything. The Paramashiva is inclusive of everything. There is nothing outside of him. The space is inclusive of all the four elements. Whether the four elements, air, fire, water, earth are there or not there, space is not affected. Isn't it? thousands of suns, neutrons, they must be colliding and going away out of existence. Space continues to be space, isn't it? So recognize that. Yat param brahma sarvatma vishwasyayatanam mahata. That contains the total manifest and the unmanifest world and is subtler than the subtlest, eternal, and it is the absolute reality. And it is the absolute reality. And don't forget, tattvameva tvameva tat. And that absolute reality which is inclusive, which is supporting the entire manifest and unmanifest world, tvameva tata. You are that. Tattvamasi. Accept. The only game is acceptance. If you keep fighting it, no, I don't want to get old. Don't call me auntie, you know. Call me Didi. एक है महाराष्ट्रनी है अभी पता नहीं है कि नहीं है white hair bob cut always I will not tell where from and she's 80s में थी तब and if बच्चे आते थे अज्जी ए काय अज्जी म्हणतेस मावशी म्हण अरे हद हो गई यार The tvameva tat, accept. The whole theme here is accepting yourself as that one, as the infinite one, as the eternal one, as the unborn one, as the effulgent one, as the all-knowing one, as the ever-existing one, as the ever-pervasive one. Don't come down from that level. World may think you are mad. All Mahatmas are considered mad only. See, there are three ways Mahatmas are accepted. Or they are not accepted, they are seen as behaving. You remember? Anyone? I देखो Mahatma. Balavat, they are childlike. Then Unmattavat, they are drunken-like. किसी का कुछ भान ही नहीं है चले जा रहे इधर मुड़ गए तो इधर अच्छा चलो स्वामी जी वहाँ पे चलते चलो चले गए फिर उसने कहा उसने अच्छा वहाँ चले गए कोई मतलब ही नहीं है बिकॉज एवरीथिंग एवरीवेयर दे हैव ओनली देयर एंड लास्ट वन इज पिशाचवत योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ पिशाच इज भूत दैट मीन्स they are everywhere at the same time because that is they are all pervasive so people can experience them at different places at the same time. Your understanding of bhoot and my understanding of bhoot is different. अगर अभी देख लिया तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. हाँ? Where are we? हाँ. Next verse. अभी कितने verses बाकी हैं भाई इसमें? थोड़े से कर लेते हैं और. जाग्रत स्वप्न सुषुप्त्यादि प्रपंचम यत् प्रकाशते तत् ब्रह्माहमिति ज्ञात्वा सर्वबन्धै प्रमुच्यते. टुगेदर जाग्रत स्वप्न सुषुप्त्यादि प्रपंचम यत् प्रकाशते तद ब्रह्माहमिति ज्ञात्वा सर्वबन्धै प्रमुच्यते. When the absolute conscious existence which illuminates the total relative experience of waking, dream and deep sleep is recognized as one's own essential nature, freedom from all the limitations of relativity is attained. हाँ? क्या बोलता है यहाँ पे? सर्वबन्धै प्रमुच्यते. And what are the bandhan? What are the bandhas? You can say waking, dream, deep sleep are the bandhas. माया से फ्री हो जाते हो तो आपकी पोजीशन क्या हो गई?
Sakshi.
Become an observer.
You can become the observer. Observer, you are only to your mind. We are going beyond that. You are master of. Your position has become equivalent to, if you can digest it, Ishvara. Universal self. Universal self. It is possible. There are enough examples in our land of Bharat of such masters. Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Paramacharya, Shirdi Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba. So many are there. एक कुछ लोग शांत रहते हैं, कुछ लोग दिखाते हैं. They show all the vibhutis. पानी उधर ही है, देखो सामने.
Yellow.
Huh? Freedom from all limitations. So here when it is talking about that he is the observer of the waking, dream and deep sleep. See, we think that this is another important point. If you become the observer of waking, dream and deep sleep within this equipment, it is not that if you choose. We are talking about neural networks, this is where it is. You decide, you want to be the observer of waking, dream and deep sleep of this body, or when I become the observer, the Sakshi is only one. It cannot be many. So straight away you migrate to the universal consciousness. Don't create steps in between. You don't create steps in between. So that brainwashing, what you call de-shrinking yourself, you have to do. We can't. Continuing, Trishu dhamasu yad bhogyam bhokta bhogascha yad bhavet tebhyo vilakshana sakshi chinmatroham sada shivaha. Together, Trishu dhamasu yad bhogyam bhokta bhogascha yad bhavet tebhyo vilakshana sakshi chinmatroham sada shivaha. The experience of such a contemplation is put in words in the following verse. That which is the experienced experience and the experience. See, for any interaction, there has to be a subject, there has to be an object, and there has to be an instrument of knowledge. For any thought to happen, appear in your mind, these three ingredients are required. Subject, I, object, camera, and instrument of knowledge, sight, vision. So then, see, I am the seer, this is the scene, and the seeing is taking place. Then a thought that I am seeing a camera is taking, the thought appears in my mind. This is a camera, or whichever way you put it. So this is how about everything it is going on. So you understand that principle. So we are not just talking about seer, seen, seeing, hearer, heard, hearing, smeller, smelt, smelling thing. We are talking about general. Experiencer, experienced, and experiencing. So yeah, that is the word. Bhokta, bhogascha, yad bhavet. So the three ingredients are required. All of them I am. The subject also I am, because where is subject? Where does the subject appear? In the mind. I, thought appears, no? Where does the object appear? In the mind. Where is the instrument of knowledge? In the mind. Who is the observer other than the mind? है तेरी की देखो मजा. Everything is my expanse. So I am alone the subject, I am alone the object, I am alone the instrument of knowledge. Remember previous verse? Consciousness expressed as life, expressed as mind, expressed as five senses, expressed as five elements which make the whole world. Isn't it? And how do you know the whole world? Through thoughts. For the thoughts, experiencer, experience and experiencing. I am the experiencer, I am the experienced, I am the experience itself. देखो मजा. अब कहाँ अटकोगे? Upanishads do not allow a way out. Back into the world meaning. छोड़ेंगे नहीं वो. till you don't accept that you are the pure consciousness, the Upanishads will not leave us. तो where are we? एक मिनट. that which is the experienced experience and the experiencer is all the three kinds of relative experience: waking, dream, and deep sleep. See, I'll give you one more example if it makes you help. The waking experience is what? The waker plus the waking world is the object. Waker is the subject. Waking world is the object. And the waking instruments are the waking mind and the waking senses, isn't it? In the dream, there is a dreamer I, there is a dream world as the object, and there is dream mind and the dream senses, which are the instruments of knowledge. And in dream we can understand that the mind alone became the dreamer, that the mind alone projected the dream world, that the mind alone became the experience, that mind alone is pervading the entire dream experience. Why can't we accept that same thing is happening here also? If you accept it, story over. Right here and now. ये है मजा उपनिषद का. एक और करके we'll conclude and we'll see the last one tomorrow somewhere in the ashram. मय्येव सकलं जातं मयि सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितं मयि सर्वं लयं याति तद्ब्रह्माद्वयमस्म्यहम्. Together. मय्येव सकलं जातं मयि सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितं मयि सर्वं लयं याति तद्ब्रह्माद्वयमस्म्यहम्. How beautiful it is. It is this I, the whole world is many. It is in this I, the whole world is manifest. We are not talking about the I, the waker I. We are not talking about the dreamer I. We are not talking about the sleeper I. We are not talking about the samadhi I. We are talking about the eternal I. Which is this I? It is a thought-free I. You don't have to say to yourself, I think, therefore I am. Do you? Or without thinking also you are, isn't it? If you don't say I, you still are. So that I we are talking, the eternal, the constant one. Your consciousness has never been broken. Whether waker comes and goes, dreamer comes and goes, deep sleep comes and goes, samadhi comes and goes, but you don't come and go. You are continuous one because you know these four came and went. So there is someone who is knowing all these, isn't it? That one you are, the eternal one. So he says here, it is in this eternal I, the whole world is manifest, attains existence and ultimately merges back in this absolute I. This is the meaning of the infinite non-dual reality referred as the absolute I. So this is the whole theme that we have been propounding upon. So everything is coming out of this I. Whatever comes out of the I, it is a phenomena. And whatever goes back to the I is the phenomena. Out of you, the waking, dream and deep sleep and samadhi are every day coming. Into you, all the four states are going back in. But you continue to be the same one. Accept it. Accept it. And if you can't accept it, then Atmanam Aranim Kartva, lage raho. Keep churning. How I am that? Why? Where am I missing the point? Where am I going off the path? Where my thinking is going wrong? How this jiva, the individual consciousness, is the infinite one. Find ways to prove what Upanishad is saying is true rather than say this is very difficult to do it. Because if you have a positive approach towards it, सब कुछ over उसके बाद. To find many people when they listen to all this, they find, we grahastas, for us it is so difficult, we have got our responsibilities, we have got our duty, we have to earn money, we have to go to work, we have to catch the train, we have to prepare breakfast, this that. यार हद हो गई. उसमें भगवान नहीं है क्या? उसमें भी उस समय भी तो आत्मा है, उस समय भी तो कॉन्टेम्पलेशन हो सकता है. Who is doing this? Remain the witness, remain the eternal, let things, everything is happening by default. You are stupidly thinking that I have to do it. It is happening. एक कैच करना है बस एक बार. थोड़ा सा पानी पीना पड़ेगा. समझ रहे हो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? If you jump into the swimming pool, first few times you have to drink water. But when you splash because you don't want to drown, suddenly it clicks how to float. Or you have to fall sometimes from the bicycle and suddenly it clicks how to maintain the balance. Same way, when you are sure that you don't want to drown in this world of transmigration, you try. Suddenly it will click. That click is required. It's a knack. वो सिखाया नहीं जा सकता. But you have to keep applying towards it. Keep applying towards it. We'll do the last few verses in our last satsang. We'll sit quietly for a moment. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om. This should be our disposition after having had the darshan of Kailash Maharaj. Mayeva sakalam jatam, mayi sarvam pratishthitam.